Hey folks, I'm recording this late on Wednesday night. My wife and I fly out to Washington, D.C. tomorrow to see my daughter and to attend the Howard University graduation where one of our alumni is earning his PhD. So I'm going to be in D.C. over the weekend. Um, there we go. I'll be back and engaging with you starting on Monday morning, and I'll be grading your papers probably Monday and Tuesday and have them back to you fairly shortly. This is my favorite week's discussions, especially the second discussion question. I call it History's Mortgage. So we're talking about history and history's mortgage this week. The papers are much different than they have been in for the past 8 weeks or whatever. First, a couple notes. Papers are due Sunday. Don't forget that at 11:59 p.m. I popped into the discussion, and it looks like you're suffering from a bit of seminar fatigue, and we're focused on getting your papers wrapped up. But those of you who have posted have done a good job with the notion of memory and history and the history of memory and the memory of history. I'm sure you'll get more engaged with David on Thursday and Friday. Okay, first question. What dangers to the field of history lie in the continuing fragmentation of history, both in terms of subfields and interpretive schools, and why? I guess the first thing I'd think about is there even a discipline of history anymore? Or do we have multiple disciplines within history? Has it become so fragmented and interdisciplinary as to be undisciplined? Do all historians even speak the same language anymore? Is conversation between historians in general across subfields, as opposed to specialists in particular areas of interest, even possible anymore? What does hyper specialization mean for the profession? Increasingly narrower topics for dissertations, which results in increasingly narrower and narrow journal articles and narrow books. Hyper specialization. What does that mean for the profession? Have historians so distanced and isolated themselves from the interests of the general public as to no longer communicate history effectively to the public? Those are some of the things I would think about with this question. Of course, if you think everything's rosy and peachy, go for it. This question is designed to challenge you to think about the role and responsibility of the professional academic historian, or to a professional historian operating as a public intellectual. And here's the question. I love this question. To whom does history belong? And what do academic historians owe to the past, the present, the future, and to society as a whole? This is actually my favorite question of the course. I want you to seriously consider this question. It addresses all sorts of the topics we've discussed or read about. What is the role of the historian? For whom should and do historians write? What about moral judgment? Whose standard of moral judgment do we apply and why? It brings in ethics. It brings in political intent in history. The role of history as an academic field, and as historians as individuals in terms of their responsibility to society as a whole. Consider what myth really means. Myth as opposed to mythology. Consider what myth really means and the relationship between myth and history. It is a really broad question, and you can go in any number of ways. As soon as I get this going and posted, I will post my response so you can see it as soon as you get in there and post your response. All right, final warning. I probably won't be addressing you as a group again. So do not deduct what you learned in this seminar. Everything you learned here is applicable to other seminars as you progress through the program. Don't tell professors you don't know how to do the Chicago Manual of Style, because you do. Don't tell professors you don't know about schools of history, whether big schools like the New Left or the Consensus, or the smaller schools on particular topics, the pro-Wellington or pro-Prussian schools on the Battle of Waterloo. And finally, I've enjoyed our interaction, getting to know you all a little bit. Let's tackle these last two questions. I really, really, really like the history's mortgage question. And it will be interesting to see how your views changed between week 1 and week 11 about history as a whole. My best wishes for your future success, and don't hesitate to email or call me going forward if I can ever do anything to help, or you just want to chat. I had a student who graduated probably 5 years ago now, reached out to me today. We're going to be talking about him going into a PhD program. So I mean it when I say if I can ever do anything for you going forward, don't hesitate to reach out. And enjoy. This is one of my favorite tunes, Daydream Cowboy by Chris Ledoux. Kept me sane over the years. Or maybe insane. I don't know. Anyway, y'all take care, stay safe, and I'll see you around the campus. Bye-bye.